Round 5 of the BT Premiership, and we begin the action at Bridgehaugh, where both teams were looking to return to winning ways. The line-out catch and drive has been a profitable source of points for Stirling. In control here. It's second row, Hamilton Barr, who gets the touchdown. Second half now. Almighty heave from the home pack. And some quickness of thought here from the Glasgow Warriors pro. Kenatali, and the Fijian scrum half wriggles his way over for another try. Gala fighting back, Gregor Hunter using his forwards. And a delicate left-footed chip by Hunter finds Rob Lowe out on the wing for a score for the visitors. Johnny Hope with a long pass, and number 8 Alex Taylor the beneficiary, and try bonus points went to Stirling. Hawick were still looking for their first win, and their visitors Boroughmuir were keen to bounce back after the defeat last week. Boroughmuir on the attack. Here's Dougie Steele. Christmas coming early for Hawick's left wing Wes Hamilton. Try time. Turnover ball deep in their own 22. And have a look at this for ambition from the City team. Lovely long pass from Steele. And it's Grant McConnell. Takes on Bruce McNeil. Leaves Lee Armstrong for dead. And then shows a clean pair of heels, evading the challenge of Hamilton for a cracking try. Rocky Johnson now for Hawick. Lee Armstrong burling out of contact. Evades a tackle. And the Hawick standoff goes over for a crucial score as Hawick post their first win of the season. To Myerside now, and an Edinburgh derby. First blood in this match goes to the visitors from Currie. Harvey Elms taking the ball on his own 10-metre line. Past a couple of would-be challenges. Good step. Then have a look at this for a dummy. Good score from the fullback. Watsonians through their pack. Sniffing the try line. 2 or 3 pick and goes, and it's a try for loosehead prop and captain Martin Christie. Watsonians again on the attack. Currie having to scramble in defence. And it's scrum half Ewan McCurdy who pounces for the try. An intercity match at Goldenacre. And Glasgow Hawks flying high at the moment. And a well-worked line-out catch and drive try for flanker Andy Hill. George Horn, who had converted Hill's try, keeping the scoreboard ticking here for the visitors with a long-range penalty. Into the second half now. Hawks making inroads. And it's Brendan McGroarty, their centre from Greenock, claiming the try. Fight back from Heriots, and they got to within sniffing distance. Good power from their scrum. And their Scotland Sevens cap, Struan Dewar, got the score there. But just as thoughts of a gallant home fight back were being entertained, Hawks had the final word. Once again, down the narrow side, Junior Bullamacow inside to that man Horn, and Hawks head along the M8 with the points. It was the clash of the table toppers at Millbrae. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Melrose try line. Grant Runciman with a good step to bamboozle Fraser Climo. Finds back row support from Neil Irvin Hess. Fraser Thompson on the dummy. Runciman again. Craig Jackson. Over the halfway line now. Melrose desperate for possession. Jamie Batty. Hauled down just short. And Murdo McAndrew senses the gap. And he's over for the try. Great score for Melrose. Armstrong to Climo. Finds forward support in midfield. And referee Lloyd Linton not happy with bodies loitering there. Here's Climo. Pulling back. 3 points for the home team. And referee awards a scrum collapse penalty there. And Climo on target again. Melrose short-handed with Nick Bevan in the sin bin. Armstrong, Climo, wide pass to Grant Anderson. And you'll have to take my word for it, given the enthusiasm of the Ayr crowd. But Cammy Taylor, yes, scores in the corner. So to the league table then, and Ayr remain the only club with a 100% record after that victory against Melrose. While at the other end of the table, Hawick posted their first victory to move off the bottom. So to this week's fixtures, and Ayr will travel to Edinburgh. Melrose are back on home soil. Glasgow Hawks look forward to the visit of Hawick. Gala versus Watsonians, and a tasty Edinburgh derby.
Welcome to BT National 1 Round 4. We're here at Sunnyside, but it is pouring with rain. It's going to be very wet out there today come kick-off time. Two teams that like to throw the ball about though. We've got Falkirk, top of the table, 3 wins out of 3, against Selkirk, who have won 2 of their 3 games. Commentator is Stuart McFarlane.
So the league leaders then play host to Selkirk, who of course were relegated from the Premiership last season. They'll be welcomed onto the park by the Guard of Honour, the youth of Falkirk. There is the Selkirk coach Graham Marshall, 4 Scotland caps between 1988 and 1991. And Selkirk last on the road, lost a fortnight ago at Mayfield to Dundee. And there's Ross Nixon leading his Selkirk troops into battle here at Sunnyside this afternoon. And then Falkirk, here they come, led onto the field by Captain Harry Russell and the youngster Scott Shaw, their mascot this afternoon. And the mascot Shaw and the skipper Russell exchanging a handshake. And Falkirk will be hoping to continue this very impressive start to the campaign against a Selkirk side who've won twice already this season. Good work here from Eaglesham to stay on his feet, continues his run. And here's McDougall in with the challenge, brings him to the ground, but it's recycled there by Russell. The long pass out there to Brims. Brims now has a few options, including Brodie, who's the crossfield runner. Brodie runs in underneath the posts. And the referee, well, he's obviously spotted something because he's not awarded the score at the moment. and he'll be certainly consulting. Let's have a look at this again. Good work by the Falkirk number 8, tackled there by McDougall, and the two tangling there. The ball's released at this stage, comes through the hands of the scrum half. The referee in consultation here with the back row of Selkirk, and he's shown him a red card, which, well, has baffled the Selkirk players, including McDougall, who's removed the scrum cap, outstretched arms, not me gov expressions, very unsure what's happened there. We see here again, this was the score as Brodie, the back row, runs in more or less under the post for the score, but it's not been awarded, so a controversial moment in the game. Still scoreless then between these sides, and Selkirk now looking to run it down this left-hand channel. They've got a man over here, and that man is Josh Welsh in the left wing, and he's crashed over, and suddenly we have a score for the visitors. Let's look at this again, close quarters. Nixon, lovely dancing feet there from Nixon again, releasing the pass, and Welsh on the left wing just diving over, escaping the attentions of Eaglesham to score the try into added time at the end of the first half. Russell just watches his forwards do a lot of good work here, feeds it to Brims. Brims with options just his left hand side, but that's dropped, not clean. The referee though, well, he's going to penalise Selkirk for being offside. Brims then. Points for Falkirk before half time, yes indeed, a penalty from Brims. That then will make it 5-3 to Selkirk at the interval. Russell then on the edge of the Selkirk 22. Russell's found a gap, Russell's away, level a little offload. Brodie goes into contact, Clapperton with the tackle, but Brodie breaks the tackle and scores the try. He had one disallowed in the first half, but in the right place at the right time to take the pass from his captain, breaking the Clapperton tackle and in for the score. Conversion good from Brims. 10-5 Falkirk lead. Brims in open play. Great running here from the division's top point scorer. Brims away. Adamson in support. Adamson, who scored the most tries in the league so far, breaks the tackle. Adamson's going to be in the corner. Little punch in the air. Adamson crosses the line. 2 tries in quick succession. Great running here from Brims and supporting running from Adamson. And Adamson with only Welsh back to cover. Falkirk with a lot of joy in this second half in the right wing, and Adamson's going to be in for a score again. Welsh with the tackle. They're looking and appealing that Adamson had a foot in touch. Let's have a look at this again. Good strong running here from Adamson. Welsh with the tackle and a suggestion, perhaps a foot in touch. But Falkirk, who've had 2 tries disallowed in the game so far, that one is certainly good. Selkirk looking for a foothold back into the game. They're not going to do it that way. An open run here for Adamson, in for a hat-trick. Welsh is not going to catch him, and Adamson goes in for his 3rd try in the second half. A 3rd try in the game, a hat-trick for the winger. Now an opportunity again for Brodie, who got things going with the first of the 4 tries so far. Great running here from Robertson. Lovely little grubber kick on the angle, and Adamson appears on the left wing for try number 4. It's that man again, Jacob Adamson. Great work here from the fullback Robertson with the dink kick, the grubber kick, perfectly weighted, and Adamson appears on the left wing. Russell rolls the ball into the scrum on the Selkirk 22. Picked up by Eaglesham at the base. Taken on to Russell again. Robertson finds Adamson, who scored 4. Could he be in for a 5th? Back to the fullback, back to the winger Adamson. Feeds it on to Eaglesham there, but the referee had spotted perhaps a foot in touch. Nixon feeds it to McDougall. Does well to control. The spray coming off his boots there onto Robertson. The ball just loose, hacked away by Falkirk. McGowan can't control it there. The second row hacking it away. The referee has seen enough though, blows for full time. And Falkirk maintain their 100% record. The 14 men of Selkirk, 14 for an hour, losing this one this afternoon. Falkirk 32, Selkirk 5.
Jacob, that's 4 tries again. That's 9 in total. We've only played 4 matches. It's going well, isn't it?
It's going very well at the moment. I'm just taking every game as it comes. I'm very happy with how I'm playing at the moment, how the team's playing, and scoring tries just makes it all that bit better.
And of course, you've got to have a good team behind you to create them.
Of course, yeah. I think a lot of the boys will take about 80% of credit for the tries. I just run them in. But with players like Craig Hamilton, an ex-professional, makes it a lot easier with the set piece especially.
We know it's not going to be as easy as just turning up and getting a victory, especially in this league this year. Last year, maybe we could just afford to turn up to some games and we would put 50 points on teams, but that's not going to happen this year, so we'll have to turn up ready to go again.
You know, our guys from the sending off, kept the ball, and that was the best way for us to defend. We kept the ball and scored one really good try, and went in at half time, probably surprised ourselves, but went in at half time leading. But we had the first 5-10 minutes of the second half was when the game was won and lost, and they scored 2 or 3 tries, and there was no way back for us really then. But no, the effort in that first half to kind of turn around the red card was a really positive reaction.
Let's have a look at the other matches this weekend, starting with the East Derby between Aberdeen and Dundee for the Allardyce Trophy, and bragging rights went to Dundee High with their 3rd win of the season. Iseo Madagachi getting his 5th try of the campaign, Dundee averaging 6 tries per game so far. We've seen the match of 2 halves at Sunnyside, with Adamson's 4 second-half tries a highlight as Falkirk remain unbeaten. Edinburgh Accies cruised to a comfortable win at GHA, who failed to score a try for the first time this season. That's Accies' 3rd win in the league. At half-time at Riverside Park, Jed-Forest were only 3 points ahead, having come from 10-0 down against Howe of Fife. But with 54 points in the second half, they ran riot. They ended up with 10 tries, including scores for all 3 young brothers, Callum, Lewis and Gregor. And Robbie Eurston collected 22 points himself. Marr are looking very impressive week on week, and for the second time this season, Ben Johnston has scored 4 tries in a game. Musselburgh managed their first win of the season at home to Stewmel with a try bonus to boot. A try bonus also for Stewmel, giving them their first points of the season. They'll be encouraged with that. Interestingly, all 3 of their try scorers from last weekend getting on the board at Stony Hill as well. And so to the rankings, and it's a 2-horse race at the moment, with Jacob Adamson 1 ahead of Ben Johnson in the try table. Iseo Madagachi has 5 as he gets his nose ahead of 6 players who have now touched down 4 times this season. Liam Brims had an off day with the boot on Saturday, but he's still top of the points table, with young Robbie Eurston easing into 2nd place, with Ewan Fox of Dundee and Marr's Colin Sturgeon now into the 50s. And how's this for a stat? 207 tries scored in 4 weeks in BT National 1 games, with well over 8 tries on average scored in every game played so far this season. Falkirk head the way with 27 tries, Dundee, Marr and Jed-Forest not far behind them. And so to the all-important league table, Falkirk and Jed-Forest, the only 2 unbeaten clubs after 4 rounds. They'll clash at Sunnyside, incidentally, on October the 15th, but Marr, Edinburgh Accies and Dundee winning 3 games in the top half of the table. Stewmel's try bonus lifts them off the bottom, sending Howe of Fife to the foot, but remember, there are 18 rounds to go in this division, so plenty of time for things to change. Next week, we're at Inverleith, Scotland's former home ground up to 1925, where Stewmel target their first win against GHA. Lots of other tasty fixtures too. Dundee and Marr is one that screams off the page, with Falkirk, Hamilton, Howe of Fife and Selkirk all looking to make home advantage count. I'm Stuart Cameron. Join us again next week.